Hi and welcome to this week's video. Small amount of progress done, partly due to faux pas on my behalf and partly due to me getting a little bit of a project to do for somebody else. So catch me in the video and I'll show you what I've been up to. Come on now. Well, this probably puts pay to the clip of the engine running. Oh look, I measured the bolts incorrectly and haven't allowed for a nut at the back. So, okay ho. That's a bit of a pain. I'll have to see what I can do now. I'm ordering some more. Okay. Okay, so the knee pads on this side, they're slightly painted just to seal the wood. I've used a line model helicopter Velcro, hook and loop material, because it's not, I don't think it's made by Velcro, but it's hook and loop, same as Velcro. The fuzzy material part of it I've put onto here, and this stuff I have found is super bonded. Once it sticks onto something, I'll put it onto normal plywood that's just had a varnish coat on it, and you try and pull this off. If you pull it straight up, it actually pulls the surface off the plywood. It's that sticky, so it's ideal for here. So that's what I'm going to put on here, and then I've got the hook side 3Ms, ones in discs, which I'll put a couple of discs on each of these, so I can stick that onto the fuselage side where I want it, and they stick remarkably well. The hooky 3M stuff hooks on there, and that seems to stick quite nicely. The glue thickness is quite thick in a way, so I think it sort of takes in the undulations of the surface underneath and really bites on. I've got to say, sticky back Velcro made by Velcro I've had little success with. I find that more often than not, you pull on the Velcro and it pulls the tape off or whatever off the surface without it even trying to hold on. You might as well put a piece of double-sided tape in, it'd be just as good. You don't have that repeatable pull, and it won't stick back again. Hey ho. So yeah, this is, as I said, from a line model helicopters. 3Ms do a version of it, and that seems to work really well, but this I think outperforms the 3Ms in this situation, and the hook seems to 3M's hook outperforms the Align. It's quite weird. There we go. That's that. Next stage is to cut some plywood discs to go on this side with a smaller disc inside it, and then we can do the leather work. So I've got a nice padded knee. I'm going to say I am a bit upset that I couldn't do the engine start, and I have to order in some bolts. Bother. Hey. Okay, so I've made discs to match the tops. They're not perfectly round, so they're not perfectly round. And then I've used a tank cutter, standard tank cutter, to make a circle rise. That should allow for the leather and the sort of pleating of the leather on the joint inside there, where it's coming around the edge of this. And I'm just letting this cure off, and then we'll put the next bits together. These, by the way, are same size as those, the leather will go around, will make it just go around the edge, so it'll be slightly bigger diameter than these, and that's quite deliberate. It makes it sort of more padded on the edge should you actually hit it with your, you know, on that corner. If you recess this in so that there's absolutely flush with that, there'll be next to no cushioning at all, so that would hurt if it wouldn't be so pleasant if you hit it. Okay, so I've cut some discs of leather which I had left over from the classic car restoration. I've used some of it for the headrest on the airplane, and I was thinking about using some on the coaming, but I'm not going to do cockpit coaming leather edge. It just won't look quite right on this aircraft. So what I've used the Yoo-Hoo Pour adhesive. I've put one coat in, rubbed it right into the surface of the leather. The second coat's gone on now, and one coat has gone on to the wood. And I've got some foam cut out there. I'll just drop the foam on, it's not glued onto here. And then I'll bring over the edges, and I've left quite a chunk of spare, more than to allow for the foam, and then anything which I've got left over, I'll show you how I'll trim that when I get to that point. Well, there are the pads. You can sort of see we've got a reasonable amount of thickness about them, and we've got just this little bit of leather sort of sticking out. So all I'm going to do with that is, I was going to try and show you, but I can't really. I'm just going to sand that on the belt sander. I'll just put it on like that, just sand it so it goes flat, and I'm just touching the wood. And then we'll put PVA glue on, and those little fellows will sit so it looks something like that, but it'll be just a little bit flatter and glued on, and then I'll leave that to cure. So I'll show you the product just before we stick it on. So here they are, they're glued up. As you can sort of see, that little lip which I was talking about around the edge. Of course the foam is now squashed down. The advantage of using the PVA glue is it should dry nice and clear for us, where it's showing, where it's actually oozed out. So there's our pads, looking good. I'm now going to position those inside the aircraft where I want them. I'll show you that in a bit. Okay, so there's the knee pad, one on one side, one on the other. Just getting around the cables rocking around. Just nice and comfortable on my knees. Just put those in by sitting in the aircraft and just finding a nice place, and that's definitely a lot nicer than meeting up with that edge of a vertical like that. So I'm happy with that. But I've actually been playing here. This is making a plaster of Paris, or plaster and plaster of Paris plug master to make a mould for a little project I'm doing. I've got two of these opposite sides, so yeah, it takes a lot of time to get the shapes in. I've got to do a little bit of filler work and stuff to get that fully finished off, and then this is going to have wax soaked into it, warmed up beeswax melted into it, and then filled with wax in any hollows and bits and pieces, and polished to a high polish, to then take a mould off so that these can be created. Hopefully I've got a matching pair. So a sort of matching pair. A little bit of work to do on the front end here. Still not quite sure about the width on this one. It seems a little bit wider. A little bit of work to do just to bring that down. And I'm just trying to work out which side. I think it's this side. It needs to be brought back down across to to match things up. But there we go. It's getting there. What I need to really get is a pin gauge so I can do sort of sections on that one to make it match on this. I've been using sets of calipers, and it appears to be about the same, but visually I would say this one's slightly wider at the base, not quite as steep sided on this face here. Anyway, I'll do a little bit of work and get that trimmed up a little bit. Don't want to trim up too much. Well, that's it, folks. We really are just about there. But I messed up with the prop drive bolts. I went to the wrong column. So as a quick horrible, as normal, I'm going to be waiting for parts, so that's going to delay the start. But we've got all sorts of other things sorted out, done and dusted, and I've got on with a project I need to do for somebody else. So that's nearly done. That'll slow me down a little bit, but we'll see what happens anyway. Hopefully the bolts will arrive, and I'll get the prop on and get the engine started for the next video. But probably not. If they're on back order, it could be some time. Anyway, keep yourselves fit and well, and hopefully you'll join me in the next video, no matter what it is. Bye now. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up. You can subscribe or even hit the little bell notification for future videos. Any comments would be appreciated, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Remember, go fly and feel the sky.